Hi, welcome back. My name is Vicki-Lynne and welcome back to my channel. Today because everybody seems to be on confinement to their places because of COVID-19 going on in the world, I'm actually working from home. I just finished my shift doing my work, and now I'm going to actually make some supper. So what I was thinking about doing is we all need to be using whatever we have in the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a vegetarian or vegan vegetable soup, just using whatever I have left over, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. I have a few things that were going on, and I had made some beans the other day with some taco seasonings, so I was thinking about making like a tortilla soup with the beans, kind of like a taco flavor. I had a little bit of rice left over from another recipe that's coming up soon that you don't want to miss. So we're just gonna pick whatever we have in the house, and we're just gonna kind of dump and cook. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Hi, so we're gonna get started. So I'm actually just going to be putting a little bit of avocado oil into my pot. I am trying to use everything up. Now, you know what? We have so little left in there. There we go. So I've got the avocado oil in my pot, and I'm just gonna start warming it up, and I'm going to cut my onion. Now I have prepped a few of my vegetables just so it's a very short video for you, kind of dump and go. And again, we're just using what we have. So actually I had some carrots that I had chopped up to have with hummus, and some celery. And the celery I had bought was kind of a little bit darker than we prefer. So I'm just going to throw that into the soup because it'll be, great flavor for the soup. Now, when I clean off my onions, when I peel them, what I do is I take the skin and the two ends, whatever I have, I put them in a Ziploc bag, and I actually put them in the freezer along with the, when I peel my carrots, and when I chop off the tops and bottoms and stuff of the celery, and I put those all into a Ziploc bag, and I put them into my freezer. And then when I'm ready to, I can make a nice stock out of that. I just throw it into the slow cooker and let it go for about 15-20 minutes on high pressure. And then we are good to go. Why throw stuff away when you can still use it till the very end? So now we're just getting our onion sauteing. I'm going to add my celery and my carrot. As you can see, the celery is dark, so it's not super tender, so that's why we're going to throw it into a soup. And then what we're going to end up doing is I have some vegetable stock that I've already made that I had in my freezer, so I took it out of the freezer. I'm going to make a huge pot of soup. Because it will probably still freeze well, but it doesn't usually last that long. Well, I just want to check in with everybody. Hope everybody's healthy and happy and kind of surviving through this COVID-19 that's going on at the moment. I know it's a scary time, but we all just need to take a breath, not to panic. We will get through this, and hopefully you'll make a great soup out of it. Okay, so those are cooking up nice, but they can cook a little longer, so we'll cook them with the broth. We've got that going. And I am going to add some tomato paste. I opened some tomato paste the other day for a different recipe, and I put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer, because just sometimes you don't use the whole can of tomato paste, so we're going to use that in our soup. So I'm trying to use up what we have in our fridge and freezer. Okay. Now I'm going to add in a can of crushed tomatoes and a can of just diced tomatoes. And my veggie stock. Okay. There. So I did make the beans with some taco seasoning, and I did only use half of it, so I'm going to throw the other half in. Okay. Oh, you know what? I should have put some garlic in this, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put some bay leaves. We have a place here in Chicago, and this isn't sponsored. It's called the Spice House. They have the most fabulous spices. So I put in a couple of their bay leaves. Okay. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of garlic. And some fresh black pepper. And you're going to want to season this as it goes. We're going to let this simmer for a little bit. The beans and the rice are already cooked, so we don't actually have to add those at the moment. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit of seasoning salt. I don't usually use a lot of salt, but I will be adding rice and beans, so I just want to make sure that. And then when we serve this, we can serve this with tortillas on them. Okay, so now we're going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to simmer it. And then I'm going to see what else we have in the kitchen that we can throw in. I think I'm going to grab some potatoes and add those. Okay, so our soup's been simmering for a little while. I did add some potatoes, and now I'm just going to turn off the heat because my rice and my beans are actually cooked, so I'm just going to add them. And again, we're just cleaning out our fridge, so we're just going to put that in there, and then our beans. And we are all set. Okay, I'm going to give this a mix. And as I said, we've turned off the heat. I'm going to let this absorb a little bit. And then we'll just adjust your flavorings if you need more salt, if you want it a little spicier. So I already tried this. It's the right spice for me. It won't be for my husband. He'll add some sriracha or something to it. And then we're just going to let this sit and just rest. And then it is all ready to serve. And I would serve this in a large, like a big bowl of soup with some crushed tortilla chips on top. And I think that would be absolutely perfect.